So there's a nuke in Warzone 2, and today we're running down what it looks like, how it works, and how you can attempt to go for it as well. So as we go along, drop your thoughts below. What do you think of this? Do you like the prospect of a nuke quest in Warzone? Would you ever attempt this? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. We've got a lot upcoming, so if you're interested in staying on top of all of it, tons more content coming. We're on the road to 600,000 subscribers, so if you're part of that 70% of viewers who are not subscribed, I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, make sure to check out the squad that pulled this off. OP marked, stellar moves, and magnificent. Links down there in the description below. Cannot stress that enough to check them out. But anyways, let's get into this nuke and how you can obtain it. So last week, when a few streamers went out to Infinity Ward's studio to play Warzone 2 and DMZ early, there was talks of a nuke in Warzone 2, but no one really had any idea what that would entail, how you could do it. But today we got our first look at it. We got our first look at the Champions Quest contract. Now, the contract spawn conditions, obviously, if you jump into Warzone right now, chances are you will not see this on your first game here. Right now, it's not super guaranteed, but it seems like it's going to be a win streak that triggers this contract spawn. But again, not guaranteed. That could be something that's revealed to be different later on down the line, but for right now, it does seem to be win condition based. Right now, the current theory is 5, but just know that that part is probably what has the most asterisks on it here in regards to the information with this video, but it seems to check out. I mean, the name is Champions Quest. One would consider that that's tethered to a win condition, right? But anyways, the contract itself, the contract parameters, you have to firstly find nuke items. There are 3 different components you're going to need to find across the map. 3 spawn items, 3 different elements, and you have to find one at a time. It seems like after you find one, it'll be about a 15-second countdown timer on the spawns before the next one ends up coming into play where you can loot that up. So it is going to take a little bit of time, and of course, they will be spread out across the map, so you'll probably want to grab a vehicle of some kind to attempt this. Now, the nuke items will have individual effects that hinder your gameplay capabilities as an added level of obstacles. Each of these items will take up 1 inventory slot, so it is possible to do this in solos if you so choose to. You might be kind of crazy to do this, but if you end up playing in quads as well, you can end up having 1 person carry 1 of these, or in trios, again, 1 person carry 1 item as well. But each of these will have different effects on your gameplay itself that if you end up having multiple, they'll compound and make it a little bit tougher to traverse the map. Now, as for the 3 components, you have to find beryllium, which has a tracking device active, and this is a massive crown effect. Think of the Most Wanted contract, but like on steroids, because it's a larger icon and it's real time. While the Most Wanted contract did update pretty quickly, it's still about a 3 to 5 second interval between pings. This is real time, so you're going to have the entire lobby looking at you and trying to take you down. Then you have plutonium, which has a radiation leak effect, which damages and impairs your vision. It takes away your armor before your health, so it is something you're going to have to be constantly repairing your armor throughout the game. So make sure you're looting up and have enough on hand that you do not die just while holding that plutonium. And then finally, tritium is something that will end up scrambling your radar if you have this on your person, meaning that your entire minimap and tac map are entirely scrambled like a counter UAV, but to a larger degree. But you need to have all 3, obviously, so if you're traveling as a squad, you might get some of those effects as well. And a little side note, the players carrying the plutonium, it seems to get damaged, but if you're roaming in, say, a vehicle, that'll actually spread those effects to the other players in that vehicle with you and seemingly damage the vehicle itself. So there's definitely some added weight here to going for this and just the sheer survival aspect of it. But beyond that, all you then have to do is wait for the bomb to end up spawning. And that is when it really gets kind of tough, because at that point, you have to go to the bomb, deposit the components, and then arm the bomb as well. The spawn that OP marked, stellar moves, and magnificent got was in the middle of one of the final end zones, and it was completely out in the open. They died, got lucky that they could come back and finish adding the components to the bomb while also not getting shot somehow. Like, that's just the truly magnificent part about it, is that in the middle of this open zone, they were somehow able to pull this off. But once you arm the bomb, you're tasked with defending it. I don't quite know if it was just the fact that people didn't know what was going on, or the first time that we saw this, that nobody tried to disarm the bomb. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but it essentially is just a timer where you have to survive until the nuke countdown goes off at that point. So it is something that is a very, very tough contract. I mean, you're insanely marked on the minimap. You have a bunch of things here that take some of the toughest parts of certain contracts. I mean, you have the Most Wanted on steroids, that live ping and a larger icon, the scavenging aspect, but with items that will damage you and across the map on a larger scale than just, say, say like a safe cracker or something like that. And then of course survival to stay alive in the game, to get to the bomb location and defend it after the nuke itself is armed, because it takes about 20 minutes from the game start. So you're going to be in end game whenever this is something you can end up arming. So this is absolutely probably the toughest contract we've ever seen within Warzone's history. And honestly, pretty cool, especially when you see that nuke go off. You end up getting the champion's victory and you end up nuking the remaining players in the match. Now, if you do complete this by some miracle, perhaps, it is something that you do have the opportunity to do this again if you'd like. Now, how long it lasts, that's the question that's still up for debate. If you complete it and you don't get it on your first attempt, the contract will not despawn immediately. It seems like there's a few games after when it becomes first available that you can end up trying this out. So let's just say it's like a 5-win streak within a 5-game window that you could end up getting this contract active and then trying to do it yourself. But beyond that, it's going to be something where you have to re-earn the ability to activate that contract in game, going on that win streak once again. To me, it's kind of like that bloodshed armor from Advanced Warfare, where each piece was only available for a specific amount of time after you earned it before you had to re-earn it. So it's kind of that same sort of concept here. You earn the contract spawn, have a couple of games to try it out, and if you don't complete it, or even if you do, after a couple of games again, you'll have to go on another win streak seemingly to re-unlock it. Now, honestly, overall thoughts here on this one, man, they were not kidding whenever they said that this was going to be a tough and incredibly hard challenge. I mean, a win streak overall is just something that a lot of players might not be able to string together, but then on top of that, to add in the toughest contract, I'm going on record here and saying I think this is the toughest contract we've ever seen within Warzone. To add that on top of that, that is incredible. You have to stay alive while an entire lobby is hunting you. You have to stay alive that entire game and then arm everything on top of that. Man, that's pretty cool. I like this. It is a very tough challenge. I think that myself and my squad are going to be going for it, but I can see why not many people would. Will this be something that myself or maybe others may go for regularly? I mean, who knows? Maybe, but I think that it's just so much risk that if you're trying to just play for like high kills or something like this, that is not the way to do it. It's not going to be something where you nuke somebody within the first 5 minutes and you get 100 kills off of it. Instead, it is quite literally something you have to dedicate the entire game to trying to do. So it's a massive curveball in how you may approach the game, but a really cool one if you ask me. So for that is how you end up getting the nuke, what it takes to do so, and what it looks like to nuke Al Mazrah. So that said, that's what we're going to call it. Again, do make sure to check out all of those down there in the description below. OP marked, Magnificent, as well as Stellar Moves. They were the ones that pulled this off, and it is an incredible feat. So go show them some love, check out their streams. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down below. Are you guys going to be going for this nuke here within Warzone 2? Will you be one of those people that just hunt down people that go for it, or are you just not going to really care too much about it? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. We've got you covered with all of it. So if you're interested, I'd love to have you in the community. For now though, thanks so much for watching. Modest Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.